If I reflect on the whole time I was the first Roald Dahl Specialist Nurse, it was a real privilege. I think that's the word that would sum it up. It was an exciting time because it wasn't just the first Roald Dahl nurse specialist, it was also the first paediatric epilepsy specialist in the UK. The background was I was doing a regional study into febrile convulsions. That's children that have fits with high temperatures. But on the back of that, I also did a parental questionnaire. And it was realising how traumatised parents were when their children had seizures. And it was through talking with Richard Appleton, who was the consultant I worked with. So it was him who said, "Are you interested in a nurse specialist role?" And I said, "Oh, yes." And that was where it all began. One of his secretaries saw something on the TV about the beginning of the Roald Dahl charity and said to him, you know, would that be worth trying to see if we could get funding? Richard phoned the number that was available and Lissy answered the phone, which he was really shocked by. But she said, leave it with me. She'd go to the board and 10 days later, they came back and said, yes, we'll fund the post. And that was the very beginning. I loved being a Roald Dahl nurse because basically I could be there for the families. That was my job, was to give them support, advice, to be a point of contact, to explain things when they didn't know what to do. But also the support didn't stop with the family. It went on to where the children were involved. So it was school, nursery. The highlight is being involved with the families. That you can't, nothing surpasses that. I've had invites to 18th birthday parties, engagements, people who have kept in contact with me because you were such an important part of their life. And I remember one mum, and she came up to me crying and she said, I feel quite emotional saying it, but she said, "You've just brought my daughter back," because she felt epilepsy had taken her daughter away. She said, "My daughter's just come home." And I don't think it was anything we particularly did. I think it was the fact that she was mixing with other children with epilepsy, seeing other children have seizures, taking medication, but living and having fun. And that is an amazing thing. I'm sorry, I do find it quite emotional to think something so simple to most people can have such a dramatic effect and impact. But you know, some of the highlights are some of the other nurses that I've met who've come on board as Roald Dahl nurse specialists, some in different specialisms. If you've got that network of nurses, you can say, how did you overcome this? How did you feel? Did you feel the same? And that proved very valuable through the Roald Dahl, that network of nurses. I think the fact that there is soon to be 80 Roald Dahl Marvellous Children's Charity specialist nurses in many important areas of child health is amazing. And I think the word to sum it up is wow. As a Roald Dahl Marvellous Children's Charity nurse, we know we've supported and sponsored thousands of children, but there's many, many more. There's 100,000 children that have life-limiting or life-threatening conditions that need the support of a Roald Dahl Marvellous Children's Charity. In order for us to fulfil that, because this isn't a local need, this is a national need. In order to fulfil that, we need people to think of ways that they can support the charity. And all I can say is please give generously. It makes an impact on families and children for the future.